Sounds good.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is the Retro Runner. This is the second annual Ninja Gaiden Any Percent KONOT. That's knockout one night only tournament. Great format. We're going to be commentating. I got my good friend here, Chuckles W73 on co-commentary. How's it going?
Going pretty well. Great to be here with you, Retro Runner. I'm excited for a good day of races.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. This is a really hype format. I actually love this format. For those of you not familiar, this is not your usual race marathon scenario where you have bracketed type one-on-one scenarios. It all happens in one day, and one by one, the slowest times get knocked off the list until you have one fastest ninja. We got a lot of fast ninjas here today. Some good friends of mine. Great racers. We got Lane Rayner. He got a lightning fast 11:44. We got a couple sub 12 runners. Edo 87 Grayskull. Ex Christine, she's really close to sub 12, along right there with Mr. Aves, Mighty Steiny, and Aries Fire Tiger.
Yeah, it's quite a group of runners. And first, let's get one thing out of the way. This game is exceptionally difficult to play well. These people are not just going to have to do one good run. If you want to win this, you're going to have to do like 8 really good runs in a row. And that's why PB doesn't even tell the full story. You might look at that and think that Lane Rayner is the obvious winner here. So many things can go wrong in this type of a format, and you have to be consistently good all day long if you want to come out on top.
Absolutely. It's a really actually exhausting format for the runners, but makes for a great watch. And actually, the act of like PB hunting, personal best hunting, it's a little bit of a different skill set than, pitting your skills live in a race. A lot of things can go wrong real fast, especially in this game. There's this whole concept of the global timer, and in a personal best like grind session, if something bad goes wrong, I just reset. I don't even deal with it. And to get on that good global timer in a race, you can't do that. So you're going to be pitted against all kinds of strange situations that you're going to have to improvise and just be really consistent and have nerves of steel to come out on top. And you have to do it over and over and over again.
That's right. And, for anybody that saw the tournament last year, one thing that we know going into today, things are going to go wrong for these runners. These are not going to be flawless runs all the way through. And it's all going to be about how they react after this game punches them in the mouth.
Yeah, it's all about, taking what the game gives you and just adapting as well as you can. Sometimes you get unwinnable situations, too. You get God Hammers, just unavoidable things that kill you. So hopefully we don't get to see any of that. And of course, there's the famously, if you die to the demon at the end of the game, you get sent all the way back to 6-1. So even when it seems like someone's got a race in the bag, it's never really over until it's over.
Yeah, this game, there's really 2 parts of it for me. There's the whole, everything up to Act 6, and then Act 6 is like a whole nother level of difficulty. Everything else is just kind of the warm-up for that. and Act 6 is going to really, throw some wrenches in the plans today for people.
Yeah, Act 6 is pretty demanding. Act 5 is actually extremely demanding for runners, especially in a race scenario. It's any screen it's just one. The whole stage is one long screen. Like stage 3-2 is also this way, where it's a long screen. If you die at any point, that's a huge send back. And 5.1 is extremely technically demanding on top of being one of those long screens. I think we're underway here.
Yep, looks like we're starting off. We're going to try to feature all of our runners and sort of rotate through. Remember, with this format, it'll only be the last place finisher every round that gets eliminated.
Yeah, that's how the format works. It's really genius format. It's really hyped to watch. All right, so it looks like nobody got what we call the lazy Tyson. Oh, I spoke too soon. Commentators curse. Aries Fire Tiger did get the lazy Tyson. Didn't get the boost. Got a flip-flop all the way up. That's unfortunate. Nothing you do about that.
We're not going to see anybody die in Act 1 today at all, I don't think. It's pretty straightforward. It's just that one screen in a boss fight. Even if you make mistakes, you really ought to make it through.
Yeah, no pits or anything, so, no knockbacks in the pits.
Right. Act 2 steps it up a little bit because there are many places where you can fall to your death.
Yeah, that's the first introduction of pits. No Hammer Bros yet, though.
No, the game does a good job of kind of ramping up the difficulty as each level goes on and doesn't just throw it all at you at once.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We got X-Christine coming into what I like to call the bounce house. Left, right, beautifully done. Same with Mr. Aves and Mr. Steiny. It's actually deceptively difficult to do. You might, if you don't run the game, you might look at that and not make much of it, but it's pretty difficult to optimize. You can get a janky sort of backwards jump and not get to where you want to be.
Right. Everybody in this tournament today is going to do a good job of making this game look easy, and it's important to remember that it is anything but.
Yeah.
I've run this game a few times myself. I actually just picked up a PB last night, and it was over an hour. So I'm impressed by all of these runners.
Yeah, congrats, Chuckles. He knows the game really well. He's been watching not only myself, but so many other Ninja Gaiden runners. So, definitely well educated on the commentary. Everyone getting the bat boost for Act 2, looks like. Here's where we get the Hammer Bros introduced, and look at all of these pits, all these opportunities to die.
Yeah, 2-2 can be a little bit dangerous at times, and the main thing is that you keep that spin slash and that you save enough info for when you get to this boss fight. It's not that it's hard to beat without the spin slash, it's just more time consuming.
Yeah, you definitely lose time. A lot of the game is routed around obtaining spin slash and having enough ammo to use it against the boss.
Right. But now we get into stage 3 here, which is the only stage in the game where you do not have access to spin slash.
Yeah, they just, for whatever reason, they were like, nah, we're not going to give you spin slash. Deal with it. The best we can do is get Art of the Fire Wheel to make quick work of Act 3 boss Massacre, which all of our runners have done. Right. Oh no! Mighty Steiny taking a death in 3-1.
It's unfortunate. It's still early, so they've certainly got a chance to recover. They'll be able to pick up the Art of the Fire Wheel here. There's also a backup Art of the Fire Wheel in 3-2 if any of our runners miss it. But it's a little bit out of the way. It's
pretty out of the way to get. I would still argue worth getting if you've lost it along the way.
Certainly.
Here's the part I affectionately call the butt clench cliff. I don't think anybody will be going for that tight jump. Mr. Abe is opting to let the cat bypass. That's the super safe strat.
Yeah, there are many ways to deal with that cliff, but it can go very wrong.
Some good Massacre kills. Looking like X-Christine got a fair lead here.
Yeah, for the runners that we see on screen. 4-1 is it's got a couple of screens, but mostly it's this first long screen and lots of opportunities to fall down if things don't go well. But you see her taking some boosts there and making good use of them. Kind of keep going. You get a health refill at the start of every act, so you want to use that health to your advantage by doing some damage boosting to get a good time. So you're on to 4-2. I know some people like to sing a song in this level. I don't know if maybe you want to break that out for us or not today. That's up to you.
Yeah, it involves killing and murdering and canceling and then jumping on the bridge, which hopefully all of our runners will do. I don't know if there's a broadcast delay or something, but it looks like Edo must have taken a pretty nasty death. His entire stage behind the other runners. He might have taken a death in Act 3.
He might have. There also might be a delay. We're not able to sync up the runners when you've got 8 people going simultaneously.
Right, exactly.
So we'll have to check the race timer in Discord afterwards to see what the deal is there.
X-Christine playing, I'm going to say really cleanly, getting the Ohan boost on the second screen of 4-3. Looking really nice, really clean. Mr. Aves not far behind at all. And
X-Christine has been playing this game a lot lately. I know she's been grinding very hard for that sub-12 time, and it feels like it's going to happen any day now. But it probably won't happen today, and that's because we see there are some differences between PB strats and race strats. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, like we talked about the butt clench cliff, which is this kind of large precipice at the end of 3-2, and there's a strat that allows you to get to the other side of the cliff without stopping, but it's really dumb, especially in a race, and way too risky. Risk of death is pretty high, and that's a huge death. That's like, I think, almost a minute that you would be putting yourself behind. Definitely over half a minute.
Yeah, very high risk, low reward situation.
There are others, I'll mention them as we move along. Mr. Aves looking really good. Got what we call the manip, where you shake down that hammer bro at the first column of 5-1, low enough to damage boost off of him. Got it really well. Lane Rainer coming here with the series of bird boosts. So talking about PB strats versus race strats, opting to not take the second boost off the bird in 5-1. You can opt to do that, and it does save a fair amount of time. But you're leveraging some health there, and there is some risk of falling in the pit if you don't manage it well.
Yeah, risk of falling really goes up in stage 5, especially when you get to 5-2, because everything is on a cliffside at this point.
Yeah, look at all these like chasms and abysses. Lots of opportunities to fall. Hammer bros. Lane Rainer coming up to this screen can be very technical if you choose to do so. You can lemon drop here. Okay, he didn't. He did what we call the Ohan strategy, where you just walk off the cliff, attach to the wall, and go to the left and stagger just a little bit to attach to the wall and then go right. It's definitely a tricky bit. There's a couple of different ways you can go about that.
There's no real easy way to deal with that screen. There's always some risk no matter what you do.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the safest way would be what we call the up and over strat, where you attach to the highest point on the screen, and if you do 2 quick climbs, you kind of flip off the wall and attach a couple times. The game lets you clip through the wall. Not a huge risk there, but you sacrifice some extra info, I guess, and it's a little slower.
Sure.
Everyone making their way to 5-3 just about.
We just saw Edo do the up and over that you mentioned.
Yeah, there it is. Right now, 5-3 honestly is where I get really nervous. That sits in a run. That's where the weight of the run kind of like becomes apparent to me. Not too many difficult quote-unquote things. If you have spin slash in 5-3, there is what we call the SP boost, which can be difficult, and Edo got it just now. You
see most of our runners have moved on to 6-1 after making short work of Malv. In some ways, 6-1 is a bit of a relief just because for a moment you say, wow, at least I can't fall to my death. And then the game just throws every enemy they can at you and makes it very challenging anyway.
Yeah, it's 6-1 is one of those stages that it either goes pretty smoothly if you follow the route, or it can get hairy really quick. The domino pieces can just like stack against you and maybe get hit by a hammer bro, and the bird, which takes 3 health away from you, and the gremlin, it can get nasty pretty quickly.
Yeah, those gremlins in particular, if you get hit once, you're probably going to get hit more than once.
Yeah, because of everything else coming at you in different directions.
It's like Lane Rainer and Gray Skull are nearly to 6-3 at this point. Lane Rainer is about half a screen ahead. Still a long ways to go, though. This game is far from over.
Yeah, still got, I think one thing that attracts people to this game, both runners and viewers, is it's so heavily stacked at end game. You have to really execute well to handle Jacchio in a timely fashion and the demon. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, and especially, like you mentioned earlier, if you die to any form of the final boss, you have to go all the way back to 6-1, and that's a long slog to get back.
Yeah, even if you do it well, you're talking about easily getting sent back all the way to 6-1 from the demon. That's like a 16 or 17 minute run, even if you play perfectly from then on. It's a huge deal.
Yeah. Looks like Lane Rainer is going to be the first one to enter the final boss room here. The first stage is known as the Clown Nose. It's certainly the easiest, and you still have Spin Slash. So even if you don't, you should be able to mash your way through that without too much difficulty. But from here on out, you do not have a sub-weapon.
Yeah, they stripped it from you. Let's see how he does against Jacchio. Okay, managing the 3 cycle, looks like. Oh, I just jinxed him. I'm an idiot. Okay. Wow, so Grayskull coming ahead from Lane Rainer.
It's important to remember, though, that this being a knockout, you don't need to finish first. You just need to finish not last.
Yeah, the slowest time gets knocked out, so all of our runners looking good still.
Looks like most of them are choosing to kill the tail, which is debated as far as whether or not it's a good, safe strat or not. It certainly it helps you not take damage from the tail, but you are exposed to the shrimp for longer.
Yeah, you just kind of weigh it out. It looks like X15, Edo, Lane Rainer, Mr. Aves, and Lane Rainer are all finished, and Grayskull. So we'll check the times.
Yeah, hopefully we can see the other runners up on the screen and just know who's in last there. We're not sure if Edo took a death or if his timer was he was a little staggered behind.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but he was pretty far behind. It seemed like. Okay, Ares Fire Tiger making his way through Hell Hallway. We got Mighty Steiny facing Jacchio.
The Mighty Steiny in a good position here, but again, if you take a death to Jacchio, you lose all that progress.
Oh no, Ares Fire Tiger missed the boost to the door of 6-3, and unfortunately that's a game over for him. It looks like he's just going to DNF here. He's going to forfeit.
I see that, although Mighty Steiny just took a death to Jacchio and is now back at 6-1. So.
Oh no, yeah. Oh my god.
That's unfortunate that Ares retired there. He was still in good shape, actually.
He would have had a good shot. Yeah. You hate to see it.
Yeah. Like we said, it's not over till it's over.
It could happen to anybody. I will mention this. I kind of famously or infamously during last year's knockout tournament died to the demon actually twice, and it was me and Edo, or Edo and I, and he also died to the demon twice. So it can happen.
Sure, like we said, strange things can happen in stage 6. Now, I believe, does Mighty Steiny need to finish so that they're not also a DNF?
I think he actually does need to complete the run. I don't think that the time matters, but if he also doesn't finish, that's technically a time not posted. So I think he would be forfeiting his spot in the tournament by not finishing.
All right, well, you know, Act 6 certainly gives me plenty of struggles when I play this game. And not just the boss fight. There's just so many places for it to go wrong. So hopefully they can make it through here and get back to the boss fight. And I do believe they go right to the Jackio fight, right?
Yeah, and what's at least one saving grace about this situation is if you have the forethought to take the ammo, some ammo into the boss room, you can just spin / Jackio, although the demon will rob you of any sub-weapon afterwards. Probably a good time to mention if you've never beaten this game, it's a great way to beat this game if you have the patience to do so. So you go to the clown nose, you spin / the clown nose. If you die to Jackio, you can come back with spin / and spin him. And then same for the demon. If the demon kills you, you can come back and take 10 ninpo to the demon. One spin for the head and one spin for the heart should do it.
Yep. And if you want to see that in action, just go check out my PB all the way at the bottom of the leaderboard. Because that's the only way that I can get through those boss fights.
There it is, yeah.
So it's certainly tough because you end up having to run Act 6 3 times. But, you know, it went a lot smoother by the 3rd time, I have to say.
Yeah, it's just a patience thing at that point, right? You just have to get through it.
All right, there's the spin / very nice.
Man, oh man, I wish I could spin Jackio in a run without dying to him first. People still ask me that. Why don't you spin
all the time
/ Jackio? That I wish I could. We wish
at least
that we
you
could.
Get a health refill here. Take out the head, take out the tail, and just hope that the shrimp are nice.
Okay, you got him. GG's, Mighty Steiny.
There you go. Very nice.
Very nice. I wonder where we can check out the times. Where did everybody finish?
I think maybe they'll get posted here in a moment, hopefully.
I mean, you can assume, I think, that because Aries Fire Tiger decided to DNF, that it would be him.
Yeah, everyone else did get a time, so they'll be moving on.
Yeah. But great first round, very exciting. I excite. I love doing that. I've always wanted to do commentary, secretly.
It's a lot of fun, and
it's a lot of fun.
Stressful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've no stress on me. I remember last year's knockout. I was so nervous, and then race 2 comes, and those nerves don't go away. They just keep piling on you. So I mean, even if you just want to participate, no matter how you do, in my opinion, you're amazing because you gotta have nerves of steel to do this.
I respect for everybody in this tournament because I would maybe be on I'd be on 5-2 right now, if that. Yeah, and it's tough because you got a quick turnaround. We're gonna get started here again in just a moment. And especially if you were the last person to finish, you get less time to relax than everybody else. You just got to get right back up there.
Yeah, it's right back in there, no breaks. It's pretty brutal. But like I said, makes for an amazing watch. I love the format. I think it's pretty genius.
Oh, for sure. One thing I know about Ninja Gaiden is this is a game that I would much rather watch other people play than play myself. I love watching streams of this game, but it is stressful and it is difficult, and it's not my cup of tea when I'm holding the controller.
Yeah, it can suck for sure. I mean, it doesn't really even matter what your personal best is. People ask how I feel when I'm on pace for personal best or a world record, and it's extremely stressful. But I have to say that that feeling hasn't changed that much throughout my journey with this game. It's always the same. Like, you get a run on pace towards the end, and your heart's pounding and hands sweating, and you barely execute. Like, that feeling hasn't really gone away or changed.
Yeah, I've been watching you for about a year now, and I've been lucky enough to catch a handful of those PBs over the last year, and every time the excitement that you have is just, you can tell how hard you worked for it, and it's great to see it pay off, and I look forward to being there for the next PB.
Yeah, I hope it ever happens. Yeah. But we'll just keep playing until it does. Looks like Virose has got to pick something.
All right, we do have the times up on the screen now, so we can see that Grayskull83 did finish with a 12:21. Mr. Aves was in second with a 12:31, but Lane Rayner only a half a second behind with a 12:31.6. And 4/10 behind that was X Christine, so there is not a lot of gap between those top spots there. Edo, it looks like, did take a death to get a 13:12, and we saw Mighty Steiny have to run back through Act 6 and get a 17:04, so they're hoping that they can have a cleaner run in the second round for sure.
Yeah. Hopefully he can get just like a successful run, without dying to the end bosses. Even if you still get knocked out, it feels better.
Yeah, for sure. We should be getting ready to go here in just a moment. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us here on this Saturday. Hope you're enjoying the show.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. I love this game, obviously, or I hate it, but I also hate it. I'm like married to it. It's like a marriage, like I can't. It's like a toxic relationship that I can't leave.
When did you start playing this game?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't even know at this point. I've been saying 3 years ago for a while, but I think it's probably going on like 4 years, which is crazy to me because it does not feel that long. It just started like, I guess, like a lot of people. I just wanted to beat it. A friend and I just set out to beat it, and it was so challenging. And when we finally did beat it, it felt like luck. And I was aware of speedrunning at the time, so I was like, I wonder what the speed run looks like.
Sure.
And that's how I found the speed run. That's how I found Arcus, and the rest is history, I guess you could say. But yeah, it was a while ago. I love this community. I love how the hype of this game just like refuses to die. You see the popularity of speedruns kind of ebb and flow. At least for the better part of 2 years now, it's just tons of new runners and people posting new times and like faster PBs. It's just a game that refuses to die, and I love the game and the community. Here we go, round 2.
All right.
Are making their way through the Three Stooges. No one got knocked back. Sometimes you can get knocked back or not go through cleanly, and there's nothing you can do about that. It's just pure RNG.
Yeah, I know you've said that if the Three Stooges appeared later in the run, they would be a real run killer for a lot of people.
Oh yeah. If they were in Act 6, I might not even run this game.
Yeah, but the reset's free right there at the start of the game, so it's not.
It costs no time whatsoever to reset if you should so choose to do so. Everyone on screen right now, really clean Act 1. That's pretty much the way it's done. That's the route.
The first run jitters are hopefully out of the way. They've kind of settled in. They're warmed up. They know what they need to do. And yeah, they're all hoping to get better times this round.
Okay, let's see how people approach this ladder on the right. Also deceptively difficult to execute. Lane Rayner and X Christine, beautiful. It's actually really hard to do that. I know it doesn't look like much, but for some reason, we even joke that it's like the actual final boss of Ninja Gaiden, to climb that ladder.
Climbing is difficult in this game. If you're on a ladder, you can just kind of move up nice and slow, but any other surface that you see these runners clinging onto, it's not easy to climb. Just doing wall climbs in this game is a real challenge.
Yeah, it's pretty demanding on the input side, actually. It's very personal too. Like if people ask me, how do you quick climb, or what is even quick climbing? Like Chuckle said, you can just choose to hold up or down on a runged ladder, and you'll move at a certain speed. But since Ryu's jump speed is it's so much faster than the wall climb speed, the ladder climb speed, we can insert these little jumps or quick climbs and reattach it to the ladder, and by very small increments you increase your speed over a large amount of time. I mean, but to be fair, you can get an extremely competitive time without quick climbs, and to see it in races is it's pretty hype, and like it speaks to the skill set of the runner.
Right. I mean, how much time do you think it saves over the course of a whole run?
Like completely optimal, like humanly optimal quick climbs at this point, from what I've seen, probably between 8 and 9 seconds if you get all of them, which is not nothing. But no one does perfect quick climbs. I don't care who you are. So,
but if you're just trying to beat the game, I wouldn't worry too much about the quick climbs.
No, that's not necessary to beat the game at all. Only if you care about the time.
Also, it's just kind of swag.
And it looks cool. That's another thing. This game's the run's very visually attractive. People see all these weird quick climbs and they're like, "What's that? It looks rad." I would agree.
Yeah.
Everyone having pretty good pace right now to Act 3. I have not seen any major errors whatsoever. I don't even think I've seen so much as a knockback yet.
We just saw Lane Rayner take one. He was going to set up the double bird boost, and it didn't pan out. Took a hammer. These things happen. Not a big time loss.
He's extremely consistent with what we call the double bird boost in stage 3-2. It only saves 0.3 of a second, but I've rarely seen him not get it. So he just goes for it in races, which is it's incredible to see.
All right, pretty good Bassiker fight for Lane Rayner there as he moves on. X Christine is right there too. Not a lot of separation.
Yeah, all of our runners pretty close. Lane Rayner extremely close to getting what we call the standard kill. It's what a dumb name. What a dumb name for a buzz kill. But it's one of the faster ways to kill Bassiker. Not easy though. Not easy. Standard, but not easy.
Looks like Lane Rayner opted to not go for a bat boost there. We see Christine take it. And I mean, the separation between them at this point could just be, stream delay. It's hard to tell who's in first.
Right, they're on each other's tail for sure. Mr. Aves and Edo not far behind at all. Oh, interesting. Lane Rayner choosing to wait for that bat over the first gap in 4-2. If you do take that wrong, he can boost you into the pit. So that was the concern, I guess, for Lane.
Yeah, waiting on that bat is something that I do in my runs, but I wasn't expecting it to happen in a race. But it's certainly the safe way to go.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, right there, maybe he lost 0.3 of a second. Not a big deal.
Right, and all these runners have to be thinking, as much as they want to finish first, just don't finish last. So Lane is a strong enough runner in these early rounds that he knows that, waiting on a bat is not going to be the thing that sends him out of this competition.
Right.
He's going to need to make a bigger mistake, at least in this early round.
Edo really not far behind. It's definitely worth noting how much stuff he's contributed to the game. I mean, even in things that I use in my runs, 2 or 3 very essential things he taught me how to do, or just discovered. He has his own kill for Bassiker, and he's got a really unique and special brain for this game that we need.
Absolutely, and I think it's important to note too that Edo runs other categories in this game. He runs low percent, which is where you don't use any power-ups and just the sword, but more importantly, he runs pacifist, where you literally don't damage anybody except the enemies. Pacifist runs are all about how you react to things, and so I think that helps him out a lot on race days, because when things go wrong, and they do, he knows how to handle those situations.
Oh yeah, I mean, even myself or anyone, people complain about the RNG or global timer and any percent. That's a joke. It's a bad joke compared to everything that you have to deal with in Pacifist. It's extremely brutal, and he's a master of it. Look at the sync between Grayskull and Lane Raynor.
Yeah,
let's go. Everyone's just almost exactly. Mr. Aves right on the heels of X Christine, who's right on the heels of Lane Raynor and Grayskull. So some very tight races right now.
Right, and we've got 2 runners off screen, but they're probably not too far off as well.
And Grayskull going for the up and over.
Yeah. One thing we didn't talk about last time with 5-3 is that it introduces what, in my opinion, are the worst enemies in the game, and that's the jetpack ninjas. People complain a lot about birds, but these jetpack ninjas are just the worst.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of the thing that, like, if you ride the train on the rails, so to speak, and follow the route, shouldn't be too bad. But the second you have a misstep and maybe you take a knockback, they start to pile up on screen a lot, and they also throw these sort of awkward to handle trajectory ninja stars at you, and those can pile up on the screen too. So it can get really nasty very quickly, especially if you don't have spin slash. It's a problem.
As someone who plays this more casually, it is a big problem.
There we go. He was mouth. Grayskull, Lane, and X Christine, and Mr. Aves all making short work of him. It's a shame.
Moth talks a big game, but he's not that much of a threat.
Yeah, it's a shame. He looks so cool, and he's got his own cutscene. He throws these like epic lightning bolts at you or whatever, and he's just such a pushover, even without spin slash. Yeah. It's very easy to defeat him. You just out DPS him, and he dies.
Yeah, he's actually not that hard to beat without spin slash. And for anybody thinking about picking up this game, I highly recommend playing what we call Revenge Percent, which is where you get through Act 5, you kill Maul, you get your revenge, and then you turn off the game and walk away.
There you go.
It's a lot less stressful.
You completed the storyline. Your dad, according to the cutscene, you can't help him, so he's gone. So just leave.
Yeah, you'll be a much happier person.
Yeah, it's fine. All right, everybody going through what we call Hell Hallway, because it's pretty nasty without spin slash.
It's very problematic, yeah.
Without spin slash, it's crazy annoying. Everyone getting through pretty clean, though.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any deaths happen yet. Hopefully there's none happening off screen.
No, hopefully we wouldn't do a serious commentator curse here, but no deaths and some competitive paces right now for sure. Lane Raynor getting the bird boost there. Also, maybe looks easy to do and is completely not easy to do. Especially it's at the end of the game, and it's scary. It's scary even for me still. Like I just have to focus on the visual cues, meet them, and then I press the input button and I close my eyes sometimes. That's how scary it is.
We see Grayskull is a little low on health right now, so got to be careful on this last screen just to not take any damage. If you're higher on health, you can just kind of power through and not worry about it. But thankfully, you do get a health refill when you get to the boss fight.
You can just hold right there if you want, if you have the health.
Yep, that's what I do.
Oh, Lane almost taking the plate kill.
Mm.
It looks like he said, yeah, he salvaged a 3-cycle out of it, but really impressive. Middle platform fights are very advanced and extremely demanding. You have to mash down and B while moving Ryu. It's ridiculous. It's like NES controller gymnastics.
Nothing's easy about that.
No, it's ridiculous. KX Christine and Mr. Aves synced both with the 3 cycles there.
All right, looks like Lane is going to be the first one to take out the demon, but all these runners should be feeling pretty good about their times.
Yeah, all these runners, excellent runs, like just all around from everything that's on the screen right now. Okay, Gray Skull finishing. X Pristine finishing and Edo. So our 4 screen runners are done. We see Mighty Steiny going through Hell Hallway. He doesn't have the correct amount of ammo, but adjusted beautifully. That was a great awareness on his part.
All right, so it does look like everyone else is finished. So Mighty Steiny will be eliminated after this round, but GG's to them and GG's to everybody for solid runs there.
Yeah, those were all solid. All the runners that we had on screen were extremely tight and just very minimal errors, almost no errors. It's like you can't ask for that much better in a race scenario.
Yeah. I'm curious to see when we get to see what the times are, how close they were. Yeah, all of them are going to be thinking about the next round and thinking, where did I make mistakes, or, how do I just repeat what I just did and hope that's good enough.
Yeah, I mean, even when you do well in a knockout tournament, it's kind of important to be like, okay, that's done with. That none of that matters. I can't celebrate that at all, and we just gotta go at the next run full force and keep the focus and consistency, because it's not over until it's just you and one other ninja, and you take it.
Right, it's not like a best out of 3, and you're saying, well, I won the first one, so now it's okay if I don't win this one. No, you have to keep doing good, run after run after run. Let's see how the Jackie-O fight goes here for Mighty Steiny. Hopefully it goes okay.
Looks like he's gonna have to wait for the 4th cycle. Got the 4th cycle. Okay, it was pretty good. Pretty good.
That was a good example of how to take that fight without going for the plate kill and just making it through.
Yeah,
I wish I could have a Jackie-O fight like that.
To be fair, like fighting, not even just what we call the plate kill discovered by stuck in a plate, which can maybe afford you to kill Jackie on what we call 1.5 cycles. You don't need that to have even a really good time. Right. Gohan has 3 cycle Jackie without that. Okay, Mighty Steiny finishing up strong, completing the run. GG's to Mighty Steiny.
Yep, and we should have the times here on screen shortly once we get that compiled. But very, very impressive runs from everybody. I think they all got over whatever first round jitters they might have had, and this thing got real serious.
Yeah, everyone put their game face on, for sure. A lot of close very close calls. A lot of screen syncs, and you love to see that in a race. That's why you watch these.
All right, looks like we have the standings up there. We see Lane Rayner took first with a 12:13. Mr. Aves was 5 seconds behind that with a 12:18. Gray Skull came in third that time with a 12:27, and then X Christine and Edo were separated by 1.1 seconds with a 12:33.1 and a 12:34.2. So this is still anybody's race. It's very tight, and it looks like any small mistake could be what sends you home in this next round.
Yeah, no one establishing any kind of huge gaps here, even between the fastest runner during this round and the slowest. It could be any of these runners, and they're all great runners.
Yeah. We see over on the right there, we can see the best and the average times. The difference in average times between first and third is less than 2 seconds. So that's a toss up. That's a couple of knockbacks or something right there.
Yeah, it's like
This is
a
going to
couple
be
of
close.
knockbacks. Yeah, this is a good one. I'm hyped to commentate this with you.
Yeah,
Um, uh, I'm glad that I kind of coaxed Lane Rayner to join somewhat at the last second. He didn't really want to. I think he be totally transparent as he's having some controller issues. The D-pad rubber on his controller has been broke, like visibly broken, for a long time. And at the last second, he just said, "Well, screw it, I'll do it anyway," which
yeah.
is like that's really cool sportsmanship, I think, and not being salty about your equipment and just participating in a great community event.
So for this next round here, if you are, say, ex Christine or Edo, are you thinking about making any adjustments? Maybe going for some strats you didn't go for in the hopes of getting a better time? Or are you just sticking with the plan and doing what you did last time and hoping that it goes better?
I think you might. I think you might see some strategical changes. I've personally seen ex Christine ramp it up in these situations and
Yeah.
maybe choose to not kill the demon tail, which can afford you between 4 and 6 seconds, which maybe doesn't sound like a lot, but you can see the difference. 6 seconds would put you way up there. That give you a huge lead, even
Sure.
if you were behind. That might afford you not getting knocked out. All right, round 3, let's go.
Yeah. We know that all of these runners are capable of faster times than what they just got. Christine is going to be getting sub 12 pretty much any day now. So it's absolutely in her to shave some time off of a run. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see, maybe some bolder choices throughout the run.
Grayskull getting a lazy Tyson, but handling it as well as you can. Again, that's where he chooses to not boost you, and it does waste a good amount of time. But if you're ready for it, it could be not that bad. Grayskull appeared to be ready for it and handled it pretty well. Yeah, I like doing that too. I like practicing my quick climbs on that wall while you're waiting for the in-game counter to do its thing, and you just sort of like have some downtime. I think that's a wise thing to do.
For me, I think I'd be giving my fingers a rest and not wanting to wear them out after so many rounds of play. But yeah, if you're gonna do quick climbs, you want to make sure that they're feeling good. We see Grayskull with a little bit of difficulty there. Just an example of how when you get hit by one of these enemies, it tends to pile on in this game.
Yeah, it's not like an isolated error, maybe in other runs that you might see. One terrible thing about this game is the respawns are relentless. It's not like you kill an enemy and it's gone. You kill an enemy, and if you're in the right spot, it'll just respawn and maybe you get knocked back and it respawns again.
Yep.
And that can get really nasty really quickly.
And with enemies like those Tysons, if you get hit once, you're probably getting hit twice. Because they don't really give you a break.
No, and then just the psychological aspect of it. Sometimes it could just be emotionally hard to recover from that. You're like, oh, that sucks. I got knocked back and I got knocked back again. And like it could be this domino effect of errors. But in a race, you gotta kind of pull up your pants and keep going.
Right, and this is still early in the run, so I don't think Grayskull's too worried about that little bit of damage. He knows he's probably a few seconds behind Lane Rayner, but he also knows that he's got a long way to go, so he's just got to settle in and stick to what he's doing. Yeah,
just some early game stuff. Looks like I think X Christine, or I think it was X Christine, had some trouble with the bat boost. If you take that really in a wrong way, you can fall through and die. So at least that didn't happen, because that's a pretty costly error too. But no deaths. Edo making his way to 3-1.
Looks like he's the first one there, which is good, because he knows he needs to do better if he wants to stay in this competition.
It's an interesting little piece of tech here. It's the only time we use the baby star in any percent. You throw it sort of before the screen scrolls the art of the fire wheel. You throw it high on the screen, and then you scroll the screen to the right, and it ends up hitting art of the fire wheel, so you can grab it without backtracking.
Right, and these runners make it look easy. Honestly, I've never been able to do that. I haven't gotten it once.
It takes some practice. Once you get it, it's mostly about disciplining yourself to kind of stop and press the up B input, which is hard to do while you're moving. But I'll be honest, sometimes I still miss it. I missed it yesterday during a grind.
Right, and that's probably a reset for you. You're not going to push through after that.
It's absolutely a reset. Not in a race, though. You can't. You got to keep going. You got to backtrack, and now the gold timer is going to do all sorts of different things.
We see Edo is the first one here to get Tabasco out of these four, but all four of them are on it right now. There's very little separating these runners, and I'm sure Lane Rayner is also right in the same boat.
Yeah, no one getting the standard kill. Edo was very close to a standard kill, though, so still a very clean bass fight.
There's Lane Rayner, and sure enough, he is on 4-1 along with these other runners. Grayskull took a small knockback there, not a huge time loss.
Yeah, that hammer bro can be really problematic. That's like a really bad God hammer situation. Like if he wants to, he can just end you there. That's very annoying.
Yeah, there's plenty of places to fall to your death in 4-1, so as long as you avoid that, you're doing okay.
I'm curious to see if Lane Rayner takes the pause here for the bet. He does.
That might have been something he decided in practice, that for a race strategy, he was, maybe he took a knockback this morning and said it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, and this game, I don't know. I mean, I've run other games before, but sometimes a lot of things that you think that you have 100% down consistently, like you never get it wrong. Like for some reason in a race, it just doesn't go that way.
Yeah.
And you have to be ready for that.
But again, Lane Rayner's feeling good. Should he advance to the finals, it'd be interesting to see if he still takes that pause or if he goes for it there. We'll see what kind of adjustments he might make, but that's still a long ways off from now.
Yeah. Got a few rounds before then. Looks like everyone got that Ohan boost where you got to stagger a little bit for that first candle to like kind of coax the second Tyson to boost you on the wall. It's like a small time save. Really, it's about the convenience of spinning through the knife thrower on the top more than anything. And this boost is really cool. It's not difficult, but it saves a ton of time and looks great where you bounce off the bullets like that. That's one of my favorite in the entire game.
It is great, and it's also my understanding that if you have any sort of hesitation, those bullets will bounce you backwards, so you have to keep pressing right.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you do what's called sword cancel, which is you press down and B, that counts as stopping scrolling the screen, even if it is only for like 0.2 of a second. So if you cancel the cannon there, you'll get boosted backwards. Doesn't look like anybody went for the Manep this time. That's interesting.
We see them all here on 5-1, which is just one long screen. Like you mentioned earlier, taking a death here is costly because you got to go all the way back to the beginning of the stage.
Yeah. All right, this time Lane Rayner does go for the double bird boost, and those dividends pay off pretty well. It at least appears that he definitely increased his lead by quite a bit.
Yeah, he seems to be in a good situation. He might want to have a little more health, but I'm sure he's okay with that amount.
Yeah, there's on the last screen of the stage 5-2, there's a health refill that you could choose to get. There's even a cool way to get it that doesn't waste that much time if you choose to. Let's see if he goes for the backup health here. He does, and there it is. So he's looking good health-wise.
Well, that looked like very clean 5-2 for Lane.
Yeah, I would agree with that. X-Christine and Mr. Aves both opting for the up and over, and Grayskull as well. And he gets the bird boost. That bird boost, let me tell you, is extremely finicky. As much as I practice it, it's kind of like It's kind of still like 30% a mystery to me. Like sometimes like that should have worked and like it doesn't. So ballsy to go for in a race.
Definitely a time save though, because it saves you from having to climb up that ladder.
Oh yeah. I mean, like if you can get it, it's definitely a time save. Absolutely. I think it's maybe like 0.6 of a second of a save, which again may not sound like a lot, but in this game, it is.
Yeah, I mean that could be the difference between getting knocked out and advancing in this tournament.
Right. The time's so close that that plus maybe a couple of other time saves could really add up to something that would be significant.
You see Grayskull and X-Christine in pretty good sync right now.
Yeah.
Lane Rainer already making quick work of Malv, and Mr. Aves is also ahead. Not sure where Edo's at the moment, but probably not too far behind.
Almost had a triple synced mouth. Oh, look at
Edo.
It looks like Edo's not very far behind Lane at all.
No, and he's ahead of X-Christine, and they were close last round. This is still anybody's. It's really hard to call when they're all so close.
Yeah, this is extremely
no one wants to make a
close.
mistake.
Yeah. I would say if these runners keep up their paces, it's definitely going to come down to the final pair of bosses. I mean, there's really not a ton of time.
Yeah, if anybody here was interested in getting a plate kill, now might be the time to bust it out.
Yeah, Lane Rainer's been going for those middle platform fights, which, if you choose to, like, you can educate yourself on a lot of different backups should things go wrong. But it's still scary, and like, it can be an all or nothing situation. Like, you either save 6 seconds or like add 6 seconds to a deficit. Oh, Lane Rainer having some problems there. Made it through.
Nice recovery. Nice recovery.
Yeah, he kept his cool and made it through.
I'm sure he's not very happy with how that screen went.
Yeah, I feel... Oh, no, this is terrible. Okay, so one thing that can happen on the screen, especially if you get knocked back like that, is you can get knocked into the fire shield, which casually is kind of cool to have, but in a run, it rids you of Spin Slash, which is a huge time waste.
The good thing is Spin Slash is right here on the next screen.
Right, yeah. Some people, it's debatable. Some people say that it's faster to just kind of go ahead without Spin Slash and mash the clown nose because you have to backtrack so far to get it.
Christine's struggling in that bounce house there.
Yeah,
the right-hand side.
I wonder why she tried to go up the right-hand side. That's interesting.
See Lane Rainer already making his way to the bosses.
Yeah, Lane Rainer about to fight Jockio. Grayskull very low on health here.
I think that was the case last time too, so maybe he takes a different approach and maybe picks up a damage boost that other people aren't taking.
Right before he got through the door, he took a death.
That hurts. Now he's without Spin Slash and gave X-Christine a chance to make up some time there.
Yeah, now he's behind all runners on screen. Lane Rainer, I believe, got a 3-cycle, definitely competitive. Let's see what he does for the demon.
Yeah, and then hopefully let's get Edo up on the screen so we can see where he's at. Lane Rainer still going to kill the tail. Christine moves on to the demon. And we can see Edo's already killed the demon.
Edo finishing first, like seemingly so. And Lane Rainer not far behind.
Between Christine and Grayskull here are battling it out to try to not be last. We see Christine not killing the tail.
Going ham, let's go. Don't kill the tail.
Nice.
For the glory.
You love to see it. And
so,
Grayskull's going to finish up.
It looks like, I guess, Grayskull is the one that got knocked out this round.
Yeah, I mean, we're at the point now where you can get a good time and still get knocked out. I mean, even at the start of today, there's no bad runners in this tournament. Every one of these competitors is great. I think Grayskull actually won the first round. But taking that death in the final room of 6-3 is really what did it and gave X-Christine a chance to mount a comeback.
Yeah, I was worried about that, and it just kind of snowballed. He he spun a little bit early and traded his spin for the Ninja Star, and that kind of might have distracted him enough to where he knew he was in trouble, and the Gremlin was catching up, and he took the death. It happens all the time. It's happened to me so many times. That's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, and there is a health in that final room of 6-3, but you do have to go out of your way to get it. And in a race this tight, you probably don't think that you can spare those couple of seconds.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would have made the same choice. I wouldn't have gone for the backup health, and I would have tried to make the best of the situation. So waiting for the times, the official times.
Yeah, GG's to all the runners. That was another great round. We can see him there. Mr. Aves actually came in first. Even though it looked like Lane Rayner finished ahead, but with a 12:09, I think that's the best time of the day. Lane Rayner with a 12:11, Edo with a 12:12, and X Christine squeaking by with a 12:32.
Wow, incredibly tight races, tight races, and to post a 12:0x in a race, very, very difficult. Congrats to Mr. Aves. That was super well played. Amazing race for all the racers, though. This thing is getting really hyped now.
And nice showing by Grayskull. Sorry that you got eliminated there. Not everybody sees Grayskull stream because he is more of a late night streamer. But if you're ever up late and want to see games played really well, definitely check out Grayskull.
Yeah, he plays a ton of games too. He does sort of like his own kind of like marathon of a bunch of different games in a row, and he's like super competitive in all of those games, including Ninja Gaiden. He has a sub-total time in Ninja Gaiden, which is like really, really difficult to do. And he's just a great guy to like hang out with. You can like, he's very like chill and like he'll talk. He's very responsive with chat and everything. And you just watch him shred a bunch of games. It's a good time following.
Yeah, so now we are down to our final four, which, as Chad has pointed out, means we don't have to worry about runners off screen anymore, which is nice. We'll be able to see everybody. Everybody's playing real well. Christine had a couple of small hiccups in that run. Losing the spin slash in 6-2 was definitely a time loss. And then getting stuck on that wall with the right side climb, I'm not sure what exactly was going on there. But that definitely cost her a bit of time.
Yeah, I mean, my guess would be that going through all that, she didn't even want to bother with those right side quick climbs on that wall, that white pole. Sometimes you call that a choke wall because it can be difficult. For some reason, it's a lot easier to climb on when you're on the left side of a wall as opposed to when you're on the right. I don't know what it is, but it takes a lot of brain power for me to do right side climbs, and she might have just not even wanted to deal with it.
All right, looks like we're kicking off this next round here. We see Lane Rayner take the early knockback from the Three Stooges.
That sucks.
Too upset about it.
That sucks, but he can recover that pretty easily.
Yeah. If this was a PB attempt, that would have been a reset, though. It's very rare that people keep going after that because you figure, why bother?
Yeah, just reset. I don't even want to deal with that. And you don't have to if you don't want to, but not a race.
Statistically, for people going for PBs, more runs are probably lost to the Three Stooges than any other individual enemy in the game.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
probably responsible for the most resets.
Definitively, Chuckles. You can, if you run your splits, like, that program Live Splits, you can upload it to this site, livesplits.io. And like it'll give you all kinds of information and like graph charts of where most of your resets are and stuff like that. And like the pie chart for me is like it's this big yellow thing. It's almost the entire circle, and it says in terms of resets, stage 1-1. So the first split is like all of my resets.
Sure.
Lane Rayner had some problems with what we call the giddy up. You clip on this tiny platform, this like I-beam in the middle of nowhere, and then you kind of just pop up on top of it. But if you're too far to the right, you'll just walk off of it. And it appears to be what Lane is experiencing.
He also had a stumble in the bounce house there, as did Mr. Aves.
Yeah, some early game hiccups this time. A little bit of a different race than what we were seeing last round.
Yep, all 4 of our runners are on the same screen though, so it's still pretty close at this point. It's, you know, barring a death, it's going to be a while before we get some real separation.
Oh yeah, look at this Edo X Christine sync. I love it.
Yeah.
They're highlighting the sync.
No. They both get the bat boost. You know, in terms of strategy, everyone pretty much does the same thing on this screen. Christine having to improvise there because of a hammer.
That was an excellent read, though. That's a professional read. She saw the hammer, and instead of trying to go with it, had the foresight to slow it down and just get her bearings again.
And with the, you know, with any stream delay, it's still a little hard to tell who's actually in first, but they are all very close as they make short work of the boss of Act 2. And now they have to live without Spin Slash for a little while.
Yeah, that one's name is Bomberhead, and it's just funny to me that the instruction manual bothers to mention that he's from the Bronx. I don't know why they do that, or what, like, Japan's like image of the Bronx in the 80s was. I guess they thought it was a pretty rough and tumble place.
Yeah, just people walking around with chains and
yeah, bikers with bats, bars you don't want to walk into. Edo having to deal with some odd hammers there too, and his experience with Pacifist and low percent totally showing. He dealt with that extremely well. Could have easily taken a knockback there, but handled it really smoothly.
Lane Rayner did get the double bird boost that time.
Dude,
so he will be the first one to massacre.
He's so consistent with it, like almost annoyingly so. Like he's so good at it. I'm gonna say he's probably the best runner at the double screen, the bird boost. He also gets a standard kill, and looks like Edo does as well. All right, Mr. Aves almost got a standard kill as well. Got some bullets, though. I had to wait for another cycle.
Lane Rayner getting trolled by that hammer bro, which is a pretty common thing. Yeah, all 4 of these runners are great, and we might very well see a very good run get knocked out this round. You don't have to make a big mistake to get knocked out at this point.
Yeah, at this point, it would take a pretty large error for a knockout to be like super apparent. This is, even though it's Act 4, I still consider this about the middle of the game. The run doesn't really, for me, take shape until Act 5. Ooh, Edo actually using an interesting tactic. It's a little faster than waiting for the bat and jumping over the bat. So you jump and you manipulate the bat to be higher, and then you slash through the bat, but he couldn't get the slash. Got knocked back, almost got knocked into the pit, but was able to save it.
Time-wise, dying to that bat is not the end of the world. The big downside is that you lose Spin Slash for the stage.
Yeah, I think you lose maybe, I don't know, 10 seconds if you die to the bat there, but that's compounded by the fact that you lose Spin Slash. You know, all things considered, maybe between 6 and 7 seconds.
Mr. Aves there messing up the final damage boost of 4-2, cost him a couple of seconds.
Yeah, in charge up the view.
Yeah.
In charge up the view, forgot. Lane Rayner getting my favorite damage boost in the game, so does Edo and X Christine. Oh, look at the Edo X Christine sync again!
Wow. They've had similar times most of the day. And, both of them know that they need to have a clean round. You know, Christine's probably not real happy with that 12:32 last round. They definitely don't want to lose Spin Slash again like they did.
Yeah, I know at least in the past, Oh wow, Christine getting the manip, that's super clutch. I know at least in the past, ex-Christine, and I tend to agree, is of the ilk that you don't watch the stream, so you don't know how the other runners are doing. So you gotta think that she believes that she's behind, and she's maybe wanting to catch up.
Right.
So you might see it reflect in her gameplay.
Lane Rayner is still out in front at this point, as he's the first one to get to 5-2. But yeah, these other runners are pretty close. Mr. Aves looks like they're in last at the moment, but not by much.
Yeah, Lane Rayner are about 2 screens ahead of Edo and Christine at this point. Let's see if he changes his strategy for this screen. He still gets the backup health, still goes for the Ohan drop.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Didn't get the bird boost at the end, but I think he's okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's cool with that.
Edo and Christine still in sync there. Mr. Aves can't be more than a second or two behind, and that could just be stream delay, to be honest.
Yeah, again, worth noting that what you're seeing on screen might not like super accurately reflect the runner's current paces. Lane Rayner getting the SP boost. Again, that's a very difficult boost to get, and it saves a fair amount of time because you're circumventing that entire ladder.
Edo with a little bit of trouble there, losing the spin slash and gaining the fire wheel after taking a knockback.
Oh, that's rough. And
That's
health-wise,
going to make this mauled fight is going to be slower for sure if he can get there without dying. He should be safe to get there.
His low percent experience shining through there.
Right. He will get a health refill for the boss fight, and he knows how to beat this boss without spin slash. It's really not that hard. But it is more time consuming for sure.
Oh, okay. So he got, in low percent, this is a big deal. He got what's called the 3-cycle mouth fight. He only got knocked back by a mouth 3 times, and it's very difficult to do. It's actually super precise. Again, low percent runner. Go figure.
Yeah, that's like the best case scenario when you don't have spin slash, but you can still see how much slower it was than having spin slash.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty hefty time lost. But again, there's plenty of opportunities for him to come back still.
Right, we've seen these runners make mistakes. Act 6 is a lot of headaches in a row. I would not count Edo out at this point for sure.
You mentioned
and
the...
you got spin slash back here on this screen.
Yes, you can. So it's not a big deal. You mentioned the jetpack ninjas being a problem. In this first screen of 6-2, extreme problem, and I feel like people don't even talk about it that much. But actually really difficult to... The movement is very precise to manipulate those jetpack ninjas to where they need to be so that you can spin through them and not get knocked back by any of their ninja stars.
Yeah, they are not fun, for sure.
No, they're super not fun on that screen too. They're pretty terrible.
All right, so we see Christine made it through 6-2 without losing the spin slash. I'm curious to see what she does in the upcoming climb. If she tries to go right side again, nope, she's going to go to the left.
Yeah, I think she was just frazzled and like, again, right side climbing was just one more thing she didn't want to deal with.
Yeah.
And getting the bird boost. Christine getting that bird boost. It's weird, like, it's almost counterintuitive. You have spin slash, and you might be thinking, I want to hoard ammo, I want to hoard the ninpo, but in order to do that bird boost, you actually have to dump your ninpo, because you have to slash an enemy that's out of range of your spin without stopping to make that bird boost work.
Looks like Lane Rayner's the first one to Jack Yo. Christine's going to be the second one there. Mr. Aves is going to be third into the boss room, and Edo is in there now, so there is not a lot of separation here.
Ooh, Lane having some mash locks So this is a pretty lengthy Jacchio fight. He's still in front though, seemingly so.
Christine with a good fight there.
Christine's Jacchio fight much cleaner, and gets her a lot closer.
All right, let's see who kills the tail here. Looks like Lane's going to go to kill the tail. Christine is not killing the tail, I don't think.
Oh, look at this! Oh, wow!
Oh.
Nearly what we call rich kill, which is a perfect demon kill. You have to have crazy execution and good luck, too. And it looks like she might have even finished first because of that. We'll have to see what the official times are, but that was really close.
Mr. Aves also did not kill the tail there, and it looks like Edo is not killing the tail either. So Lane Rayner was the only person in the Final Four to kill the tail.
GG's to all the runners. That amazing race, some great sync there.
Yeah.
This is why you watch a knockout tournament. So hyped, the sync. People, it's great to see a runner just kind of throw caution to the wind and like put all their cards on the table and say this is it and go for it. And really well played by X Christine and all of the rest of the runners. I think it looks like Edo probably is the runner who was knocked out, but we're about to see officially soon.
Yeah, I think for Edo, losing the spin slash in Act 5 is what kind of sealed the deal. It's just, he still made it through the rest of the stage fine without it, but it is slower going, especially on that Mauled fight, when you don't have a power-up.
Yeah, I mean, again, he handles that as capably as any runner can when you lose spin. He did a beautiful job, but, not having spin's just too big of a time loss there.
I mean, he's a truly fantastic runner. He can beat this game faster without using any weapons than I can with all of the weapons. And it's not even close. Not even close.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to him. I might be interested to learn low percent one day. But one thing I've said many times is I will never do pacifist. You have to have the patience of a saint to deal with, and just like Nerves of Steel, and like there's this creative improvisational aspect to it that Edo's great at. We have the official times here. Looks like X Christine, yes, actually came out on top with a 12:14. Mr. Aves right there. We're talking about half a second slower than X Christine with a 12:17.1. Lane Rayner with these times are ridiculously tight. 12:17.9. So less than a second behind, and Edo being knocked out. GG's to Edo. He's a great runner. Go follow him. He's a real awesome dude. And if you want to talk shop, especially about Ninja Gaiden, he's got all kinds of cool ideas. And he's always coming up with new tech, an invaluable runner to the community.
Yeah, he did really great today. And that round was just so close. There was very little margin for error there. If you look at those times, Lane Rayner was the first person to the demon fight. The difference is he chose to kill the tail. That made all the difference.
Yeah, and between first and third place, there's not even 3 seconds. We're talking about 2.3 seconds. What am I talking about? It's like 3.3 seconds between first and third place. So again, we're echoing this sort of sentiment where there's a couple of seconds, or 3 seconds between being the fastest time and possibly being knocked out, especially this round as we go into the top 3 now.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if Lane Rayner is going to kill the tail in this next round or just go for it, because that could be the difference between sticking around or going home.
Yeah, he's definitely playing it safe. He's definitely holding back. I watch him hunt for PBs all the time, and we're seeing a very different Lane Rayner this time. A very cautious and calculated play style.
Yeah, I mean, he was the first person to enter pretty much every stage of the game. So he's playing well, but we know his PB is nearly 30 seconds different than what he just ran in that round.
Yeah, you're not seeing all of those PB strats. You're not seeing Lemon Drop. He's choosing to kill the tail. Also, I think we might hopefully see this change, but haven't like unleashed the beast with Jacchio yet. Lane Rainer extremely capable when it comes to that boss fight. One of the only runners that I know that can execute a plate kill, aka 1.5 cycle kill on Jacchio. Always going for the middle platform fights. Let's see if it pays off this round as we go in. Let's go! Top 3!
This should be a good one. And yeah, if any of these runners have a plate kill in their back pocket, now might be the time to bust it out.
Now's the time to play that card.
Don't save it for later, folks.
There's not much time left. You only got one round left after this. Interestingly enough, Lane Rainer going bottom round, Act 1, which is very unusual, where you don't grab the sign on top and you just sort of continue forward. I wonder why he chose to do that. Not really a huge time difference. We're talking about, I think, 0.3 second time difference.
I'm sure these runners are, maybe wishing they had a little bit of a time for a break or something. It's hard to just keep going run after run after run and have all of them be good. So, you're going to see some small mistakes.
Mentally exhausting and just emotionally exhausting. The stress of am I on pace? Am I going to make it? Am I not going to make it? Just it builds and it builds and it builds, and you, like you said, you get no breaks.
Yeah, especially with all the runners finishing so close, you're not waiting on a slower runner for a minute or two. Everybody finished at almost the same time.
Yeah, it's almost like if you were to play the game, no reset runs, 7 no reset runs, and you don't even wait for the game to finish. You're just like, oh, the demon died. Like 5 seconds later, Rossetti Spaghetti, and we're playing again. And I never
marathon.
I never do that. I don't see other runners doing that, even when they're prepping for races. It's just like, it's super exhausting.
Yeah, I mean, when you're doing PB hunting, you have a good run, you take a sip of your water, you thank people for GGs, you give yourself 30 seconds to breathe, you read chat, and then you start again. Looks like Lane Rainer is out in front, which is what we've been seeing, most of the day so far. So it's not really the early rounds where he seems to be playing conservatively. It's just maybe something he's doing differently in Act 5 and 6, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, so far, again, what I'm seeing that's different is the different approach to the bat in 4-2, where he chooses to wait for the bat to come and jump over it. Not a huge time loss. Also, going for what we call the Ohan drop in the last screen of 5-2, as opposed to the lemon drop or the up and over. And that's pretty much it. He's even going for the double bird boost, and I think he's only missed that once, which is it's ridiculous. The consistency with that time save, small though it is just absolutely insane.
Oh, he does take a hammer there, but these things happen.
Okay, he gets through cleanly. Sometimes, especially if the bullets are chasing you, if you're a little too far to the right, you can kind of choke the real estate that you have left to jump off of those tiny piers, and instead of jumping off, kind of just walk off instead. So good thing that didn't happen to him.
Looks like he's keeping the bird around.
He's going for double bird boost again. Looks like he's going to get it again. Jeez, I need to talk to this guy. He needs to reteach me how to do the double bird boost. That's insane.
Yeah, he needs to put out a tutorial or something.
Yeah.
We saw him just use up a little bit of his ammo. Is he just getting rid of extra ammo that he has there before the fight?
Yeah, so, and he gets it too. He got a great standard kill. One thing about this game that you might not realize unless like somebody maybe told you is that any excess ninpo that you have gets counted down after you defeat a boss first, and then the in-game counter gets counted down. So it does waste time if you have extra ninpo, especially if you have a lot of it. It can waste a good amount of time. So if you're confident in the kills that you're going for and having the exact amount of ninpo needed for the kills, usually it's a good decision to have the exact amount that you need.
Right. We are talking about some pretty high-level optimization, though. If you're a new runner, save that ninpo and take the countdown. It's not a big time loss.
No, I mean,
but
yeah,
in a race like this, for sure, you don't need extra countdown time at the end.
Right. I mean, I've even seen Lane during his PB attempts. Okay, he did. Did he go for? Oh, no, that's X15. I thought he didn't go for the bat weight.
Lane Rayner did not wait for the bat that time. He went right through.
He didn't, right? Okay, so we're seeing his strategy and mindset change a little bit. But I have seen Lane take one set of extra ninpo, that being 5 extra ninpo, into the Basker fight. So I think he's putting the pedal to the metal here, and he wants this.
Looks like Lane might have missed Spin Slash in 4-1 because he didn't pick up the Spin Slash till the end of 4-2 there.
Yeah, I somehow missed the beginning of what he was doing there. He's in totally fine shape. Actually, he's got way more ninpo than you would need for this stage. So somehow corrected that. And looks like him and Mr. Aves are pretty darn close.
Yeah, and X Christine is, maybe a second or two behind based on what we're seeing on screen.
Okay, this makes sense. We missed it somehow, but he died on the 4-1 bat boost. He went for it and got sent to his death in a knockback. So that would explain the ninpo discrepancies. But he seems to be still ahead by a fair amount.
Well, thanks for letting us know, chat. I'm not sure how we missed that, but these things happen.
It's hard to watch 3 screens at the same time.
It is, yeah.
And commentate on stuff and have a conversation with Chuckles and be engaging with you guys. But all of our runners making their way to 5-1. I like to call the stage a rage stage because it makes you rage. There's a lot that can go wrong. It's a long screen, and it's extremely technical.
All right, so Lane Rayner took a death. He has to feel like he's behind at least a little bit at this point. So I feel like we're not going to see him kill the tail.
Yeah,
I feel like he's going to have to be a little more aggressive with those strats.
I'm sure that he believes that he's behind right now. Also, not an enormous deal, but he missed Spin Slash. Wow,
yeah, he had to go back for it.
So now Christine may have a small lead.
But Mr. Aves is still back in 5-1 at this point.
Yeah, looks like Mr. Aves died to the bat here.
Yeah.
And that just speaks to the rage stage doing its thing. And any death in that stage is an enormous time loss.
Yep.
So we're probably going to have to see one of these runners make a pretty considerable error for him to be still in this.
Yeah, it's hard to make up that time if the other runners don't take a death somewhere.
It sucks. 5-1 sucks. I was just going to say it. Even if you play really well, some just kind of like unwinnable situations can happen and you can die. You hate to see it.
Yeah, this game can be unforgiving in so many spots. It's not just like there's one hard stage. Act 6 is certainly the most difficult, but none of these stages are a given. Except for stage 1. You shouldn't die in stage 1.
Except for stage 1, yeah.
All right, Lane is going to be the first one to maul.
X15 really close behind. I'm saying, according to what we're seeing on screen, maybe 4 seconds behind.
Now, we've seen Lane Rayner kill the tail in every round today. Knowing that he took a death, he might not kill the tail, and that might lead to an interesting demon fight.
Yeah. If
he's not listening to the feed, he doesn't know that he's got a bit of a lead on Mr. Aves at the moment.
I'm almost sure that, because I know him, I'm almost sure that he's not watching, and he probably believes that he's behind. I would put good money on him not killing the tail, although possibly not. He's been having a lot of mash locks and not getting those sword cancels off. And you don't want a mash lock on the demon. Like a couple of mash locks on the demon might get you killed. So it'll be interesting to see what he does.
You know, killing the tail, it's a tough gamble, because if things go well, people say you made the right choice. If it goes wrong, people say, well, you should have done the other thing.
Right, a super double-edged blade there. You just have to read the situation and know your skill set and take advantage of any like passive moments that the demon gives you wherever they are. Oh, that's cute. Retrofoul highlighting that he has died in stage 1 in his blindfolded attempts. So yeah, I guess you can die in stage 1 if you're blindfolded.
Yeah, that's a little bit different.
Little bit.
If you want to see a runner play games without looking at the screen, you should definitely give Retrofoul TV a follow, because he's done that on a few games and it's a lot of fun to watch. Oh
my god, he's done amazing things blindfolded, like incredible things that like you might think are barely possible, and he just has he's got like daredevil powers, and he routes it out, and he uses any audio cues that are presented to him, and he takes advantage of them and gets the job done.
Lane Rayner is the first to take down the clown nose. Christine is right on his tail.
Unleash the fury, Lane.
Oh, took a hit.
Okay, getting a 2 cycle. Very
nice
good.
Recovery.
That's the fastest jockey of the day by a pretty wide margin. I don't even think we've seen a 2.5 cycle yet.
Now, does he kill the tail?
Oh no, he's mash locking a lot. No, he doesn't.
Uh-oh. It is risky, but
okay.
Nicely done.
He seals the deal. X Christine choosing to kill the tail. This is interesting. You gotta wonder if she has maybe some kind of knowledge of what's going on in the stream.
It could be. Runners are certainly free to listen. Also, Christine had a clean run otherwise. Whereas in the previous run, Christine lost Spin Slash and had to make up for it, and maybe that's why she didn't kill the tail. This time, she had a very good run all the way through, so she felt like she had the opportunity to play it safe.
Wow, even with the death that Mr. Aves had, finishing not far behind at all. So he cleaned up as much as he could. He closed that gap by a lot. And GG's to Mr. Aves and Lane Rayner and X Christine. Amazing runners. Great race.
Yeah, that was a great round. All right, so we've now got the times up there, and we can see that Lane Rayner finished with a 12:03 with a death, and X Christine with her, I think that's her second best time of the day with a 12:18.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So that 12:03 by Lane with the death, you got to wonder what that would have been without the death. That's crazy impressive. Absolutely sub 12 pace, probably maybe low 5x, or possibly even a 4x. Just really well played by both runners.
Yeah, GG's to both of them, and GG's to Mr. Aves for a really strong performance today. Putting in some great times with even a 12:09 was an exceptional race time.
Yeah, again, I said this already, but a low 12:0x to pull off in a race, extremely difficult. A lot of things have to go right, and you just have to just keep your cool and execute. And the skill cap to do that is very high. So this is it. This is it, everybody. This is the moment that we've been waiting for. We have two of the fastest ninjas today, and we're going to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, both of these runners are, currently grinding this game for PBs, so it's no surprise that they're playing well today. Every time you see Lane run, you wonder, is this going to be a PB or, a podium run? And Christine just keeps getting better and better and better and has been really consistent. And, we could see them both get their best times of the day in this round. And unfortunately, one of them is still going to get eliminated.
Yeah, that's how knockout tournaments work. But let me I guess specifically highlight this again. Both of these runners gonna meet their goals like 1,000%. X Christine hunting for the sub 12. Recently, I was there for her 12:01. So she is right there. Lane Rayner, I think in the span of a week, had a low 11.5x and increased that to an 11.44. And he's only 2 frames away from podium. And Becco's a slightly faster 11.44, which is a very familiar situation. It's really odd to say I've been in that exact same situation, being 2 frames away from Becco's time. This runner's potential just ridiculous. I think he's been running this game for a year and a half, which is insane. The progress that he's made is absolutely mind-boggling, and it's been a real treat to watch his journey.
Yeah, I think before not too long, we're going to see his name on the leaderboard pretty close to yours, Retro Runner. You've got a pretty good time in this game as well.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. It's not the best. It's literally not the best.
Yeah.
But it's pretty close, I guess. And people maybe watch my streams are aware that we get world record paces, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get world record in Ninja Gaiden. But Lane Rayner, in order to establish his next personal best, pretty much also has to establish world record paces. And I have actually seen him establish many world record paces. So he has made huge jumps in PBs. These several second PBs. He could possibly also come close or actually take the record. I would keep my eyes on him. I've been saying this for a very long time. Do not sleep on Lane Rayner.
Yeah, well, hopefully after today, people are paying attention.
Yeah, no, hopefully all of these runners have turned some heads.
Yeah, like I said earlier, there's not a single bad runner in this tournament today. They're all exceptionally well at this game. And to do it in a race environment is even more challenging.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, whatever you're used to, whatever skill level you're used to performing, slash that in half in any marathon situation. Never mind this knockout format, which you got to know that these runners are, their hearts have been pounding for hours now.
Yeah.
So that takes its toll. And it's culminating in this next run.
One thing that I do like about the Ninja Gaiden community is that there is a lot of friendly racing that goes on, so that it's not just limited to these big tournaments. So anybody that runs this game should be at least a little bit familiar with being in a race against other runners. Recently we saw the rise of the Ninja Racing League, and that was, very popular, and I think a lot of these runners participated in that as well.
Oh yeah, a lot of runners. Rayner, X15, Edo. I think almost all of the runners that you've seen today were also in the NRL races. Totally different vibe though. More bracketed, one-on-one, best of 3, best of 5 type of situations, which are also stressful. But I would not compare that, at least on the emotional, mental level, to the endurance and stamina, emotional stamina, mental stamina that you need to be successful in a knockout format.
Yeah, knockout is very unforgiving. Run after run after run, no breaks. Just got to keep doing well. Imagine just doing PB attempts and getting 7 good runs in a row without any resets.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen. I mean, not for me at least. Okay, here we go. Here's the last run, the second annual Ninja Gaiden RGL TV KONOT. We've got Lane Rayner on the left and X Christine, both posting crazy times today. Very close races. It's going to be really hype. It's going to be really exciting to see what they choose to do or not do in this last and final run.
Yeah, I'm sure, we might be wondering about whether or not they kill the tail, but there's a heck of a lot of race in between now and then. Lots of opportunities for things to go wrong for these people.
Oh, for sure. Okay, both runners pretty much following the script here on the Stage 1, Act 1 route. You can't really do it much faster than that.
Yeah, it does look like Lane is, maybe a second ahead, but some of that might also be the sync, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it looked like he started maybe a little before X Christine. So now we really get to pay attention to all these details. Who has the better climb here? And it looks like Lane has the stronger climb. He gets the giddy up. Both runners get a great giddy up, making their way to the bounce house.
Both got their spin slash. Clean through the bounce house.
Yeah, 2 clean bounce houses. You might be able to see how these very small differences, a couple extra climbs here and there, start to grow a pace, start to grow a lead in a race. But again, it's super early.
Right, but if you can save a couple of frames on every screen, that does add up over time.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of little optimizations that can help make the difference between a 12-minute time and an 11:45.
Right. Clean bat boost by Lane and X Christine, both getting the forward boost. Sometimes you could get knocked backwards by the boost, which is still faster than climbing up the ladder on the right, but it's something that you want to watch out for. You don't want to get knocked backwards by the bat.
All right, both did pretty clean through 2-2. No trouble with the Bronx bomber there.
Yeah, Bomberhead from the Bronx. Oh no! Oh no, Lane Rayner just slipping off the edge of the pier there and taking a death.
That's it's certainly a time loss. It doesn't affect his weapon situation as he still gets the fire wheel now.
No, it doesn't affect his ammo or weaponry, but it's a pretty hefty time loss. It's not insurmountable, but he will have to work pretty hard to close the gap now.
Right. If I'm Lane Rayner now, I'm thinking I need to be going for PB strats the rest of the way out to make up for that time loss. Is that true or not? I don't know. He might, Christine could also make a mistake, and then he'd be right back in it.
Right.
But I don't know. If I'm Lane, I'm not holding anything back at this point. I'm going all out.
Lane Rayner, I think, 6 for 7 on double screed. Just insano. Just so consistent with that.
Might as well name it after him.
Yeah, it's his trick now. I'm not even going to do it anymore.
Lane with not the fastest Basker kill, but he still gets through.
Yeah, he had some trouble there. He also had extra info, probably anticipated, didn't want to risk it and wanted to have the extra info.
Christine with a small knockback there from the Hammer Bro.
She goes for the bat boost. She gets it. I wonder if Lane's going to go for the bat boost because he took the death last time. Oh, he took a knockback from the bat, but at least he didn't die. He's still in there.
Do we think he's going to pause for the bat on 4-2? I don't think he will.
I don't think he will. I think he believes that he can't afford. We'll see. Okay, he just goes right through. No problem. Christine getting roughed up a little bit on the bridge. Not too bad.
Yeah, she probably could have used a little more ninpo.
Yeah, probably maybe lost about half a second there with a couple knock forwards. But Lane also getting knocked forward.
That bridge is not easy. You know, these folks can make it look easy most of the time, but that's a tough stage there.
The thing about that bridge is there's seemingly, I don't know, like just infinite amount of different things can happen there, different hammer rope patterns. And then like when there are different patterns in this game, it's not really like other games, like RNG and other games, kind of like massively apparently different. In this game, an RNG difference in the global timer could be like, oh, well, the Pickle Ninja is like, you know, a pixel and a half closer to you than he normally would be. And it's not the easiest thing to read. Oh no, Lane getting knocked around by the dragon cannons.
Not having
oh no. He tried to get to that platform from the left side and just couldn't make it. His second death of the run.
And that's a big slowdown because he doesn't have Spin Slash anymore.
He doesn't have Spin Slash. He can still mash the dogs, and it's not. If it was an isolated event, might not be a big deal, but it really adds to the deficit here. And X Christine's going to have to make a serious mistake for Lane to have a shot at this point.
Yeah, you wonder if that slightly broken controller is starting to cause some issues after all these runs.
Yeah, I mean, it's as runners, it's an easy thing to blame the controller, but I can attest to it personally that, I mean, he's been using the same controller for a long time, and like just watching him hunt for PBs, you can visibly see that he's mash locking all over the place, and that D-pad is busted.
Yeah, I think we need to send him a new controller.
Yeah, he's got a couple on his way. Unfortunately, did not get it in time for this race. X Christine making her way through 5-2 now, increasing her lead.
Yeah, and you know, we don't know if Christine can hear the broadcast or not, but she's had a pretty clean run so far. She's got to be feeling pretty good about it, but she knows that the hard part's coming up, and she just has to stay on her game and not make mistakes.
Yeah, Christine's sort of echoing Arceus' style of playing certain parts extremely conservatively, but also consistently. And in a knockout tournament, that's the name of the game. Consistency is the key to success here, and seems like it's paying off in this final round of the knockout tournament.
See how Lane does here with the drop, or if he takes the up and over. We've been seeing him drop all day, so
he went for the lemon drop. He went for the lemon drop, and he didn't take the backup health. So you can tell he knows he's hurting. He knows he's hurting, and he's fighting right now. He's trying to keep alive.
Yeah, he's not in a position where he can play safe. He knows who he's up against. He knows that Christine might make mistakes, but that she's probably not going to have multiple deaths in her run. And so he's just trying to go as fast as he can.
Yeah, I'm going to say, again, it would probably take at least one death, even if it was not the most costly death, for Lane to have a shot here.
Yeah, I mean, certainly a death to the demon changes everything.
Well, that would do it. That would put him back in it, but that remains to be seen.
Yeah. Yeah, this run's never over until it's over. Just that the punishment of that boss fight.
Yeah, I think a good litmus test to see whether or not Christine is aware of what's going on right now is if she doesn't kill the tail. I think it's fair to assume she knows she's ahead, or at least she's feeling pretty confident right now about where she is. She really hasn't made too many errors. I'm curious to see what the pace is right now, because I haven't seen really any errors. She has to be at least close to PB pace, I think.
Yeah. I don't think she killed the tail last round because she had a good round otherwise.
Right.
So if she stays on this pace, she might kill the tail because It is safer in her opinion, and she might be able to afford the time. But she knows how good Lane Rayner is, and she might be thinking, I got to kill the tail no matter what.
Right, yeah. Well, X15 making her way through 6-2. No visible major errors.
Yeah. Lane Rayner getting stuck to the wall there. That's a common problem in this game. Ryu has very sticky fingers.
Yeah, he likes to stick on things. Sometimes he takes small naps. He gets very tired. He's take a small nap on the wall before he goes on, and just got to kind of deal with it. But that area in particular, you have to stagger because of the way that the enemies and walls are laid out. You can't just keep going to the left. You'll stick right to the wall. And if you push too far to the left, you'll still stick to the wall. And that's what happened later.
All right, Christine is going to be the first one into the boss room. And, no issues with the clown nose. Everybody's been able to spin slash their way through that today.
Yeah, that's true. No clown nose mashings. Oh no! Oh
Lane,
my God!
Lane taking a game over there because he got stuck to the wall, which is a common problem, and that bird is a jerk.
Yeah. What specifically happened is he got kind of a god hammer there. Tried to read it and pause, but was unable to kill the bird, and the bird followed up with some knock forwards and knock backs. He was in trouble with health anyway and got knocked into the pit. It's a really terrible thing. It's somewhat situational. It wasn't a ton that he could have done there.
We see Christine get to the demon here, and she does go to kill the tail. She had a great run otherwise, and so she felt she had that safety net, so I don't fault her for that.
So X-Christine takes the KONOT. Congratulations, X-Christine. Well played.
A very nice recovery considering that she was at risk of getting knocked out in one of the earlier rounds. She really got back on track and did what she needed to do.
Yeah, she was pretty close during that round where all the times were really close. Congratulations again, X-Christine. Just very consistent. And that's what made her successful in this Ninja Gaiden 80% KONOT.
Yeah, very, very impressive showing from X-Christine. She showed that, consistency is really important in this type of tournament. And, you don't have to be the fastest runner in every round as long as you're the fastest runner in the last round.
Yeah, it's a survival game. Lane Rayner got to be feeling like the tossed and tattered bobsled in Cool Runnings. And he's just got to finish the race at this point.
Yeah, but you know what? For someone who didn't even know he was going to be doing this competition a few days ago, I think he did really well today. He nearly got a sub 12 with a death, and he showed that he's definitely someone to keep your eye on those leaderboards.
Absolutely, I've been saying this for a long time. Keep your eye on Lane. He's going to go places, and yeah, he showed. He showed the F up.
Yeah.
Whoops! I almost whoopsied. He showed the F up and showed that he knows how to play this game. He was really the only runner who was going for center platform fights. He had the fastest Jacchio fight. He's the only runner with a 2-cycle. I don't even think there was another runner who had a 2.5-cycle Jacchio fight. So clearly Duke could play. But Ninja Gaiden be Ninja Gaiden and doing Ninja Gaiden things. A couple of scenarios there, just not really a heck of a lot he could have done. And great showing by Lane Rayner, absolutely. And the rest of the runners, I love this community. I can't say it enough. I love all the ninjas. They rep this community so hard and continue to make this game look so cool, attracting more and more runners to it. And it's just like the game whose hype refuses to die.
Yeah, great job to everybody today. I was very impressed with what I saw. And it just reiterated for me how much I love watching this game played and not playing it myself. Because the things that you folks can do, it's just mind-blowing. And, if anybody out there is watching this and thinks, oh, I could probably do that, give it a try. You'll see it. You know, these folks really do make it look easy, but it is not.
Yeah. Just, do you think it's easy? You've never played? Okay, give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Yeah.
Take a look at any one screen that you think might be easy. Give it load it. Make a little save state. Give it a shot. See how it goes.
Yeah. There is nothing easy about this game. Finishing it all is impressive. Finishing it in 12 minutes and change 7 times in a row is just astounding.
So X-Christine finishing at 12:27, and that's also her average. It's interesting that Mr. Aves had a 12:22 average, which is the fastest in the races, but Lane Rayner's average not far behind at 12:28. So you just can see how close these runners are.
Yeah, I know. I had a lot of fun today watching this. I hope everybody hanging out in chat had a good time watching this. And yeah, this was just a blast, and I can't wait to see the next one.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do commentary, especially in Ninja Gaiden, but I'm usually like actually participating in the thing. So it was cool to be behind the mic. I hope that me and my friend Chuckles here brought some hype and excitement to an already hype and exciting event. There is going to be a Ninja Gaiden low percent knockout tournament tomorrow.
That's right.
I think at the same time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you haven't had enough of Ninja Gaiden, low percent is a really crazy category, very, very unforgiving. You're probably going to see a lot more like the varied events happening in a category like that. I definitely recommend checking it out. Follow all of these runners because not only are they extremely talented at this game, they are all worth your time and very entertaining and nice people that I recommend just hanging out with and having a good time with.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that low percent tournament tomorrow. It'll certainly be something different, but certainly some of the strats carry over from one to the other. But yeah, great job by Retro Gaming Live TV, and thanks again to Virus behind the scenes for making that happen.
Yeah, thanks RGL TV for doing this again this year, and keeping the Ninja Gaiden hype alive. Yes, thanks Beatrice Returns for all the back end work, and thanks Ninja Gaiden community, and you Chuckles, my buddy Chuckles, for agreeing to do it.
Yeah, happy to be here with you, man.
So I think that's I think that's it.
Yeah, I don't know if the channel's gonna raid somewhere or how that works, but that's out of our hands.
Well, all right. I'm just here now. They're gonna have to get Mr. Sandman to like cane me off the stage now.
Looks like they're looking for a raid target right now, so stick tight and let's all hang out for that raid just so we can say hi to somebody and let them know that X-Christine won.
Stick around for the raid, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'm the Retro Runner, signing off. Keep on shredding games.